Welcome back to Jesters of Ravenloft, where a group of comedians try to escape the horrors of the mists. The troupe had some loose ends to tie up before leaving Protection Town. Tyler saved the Doctor Deputy's life by transferring him into a rat and then into the extra doll he'd kept. Shadow Nemesis returned from the ethereal plane and the best sex of his life and threatened to slice up New Rogue if he ever touched the squire again. Dell received Unsoilable Underpants of Fortitude from the mists, and New Rogue was given the ability to send messages back and forth with Denton Arthur. With a robot body for the Doctor Deputy, armour for Rumpleforeskin, and a repaired wagon with mounted crossbows, can What Change conquer the foes of this realm? I doubt it.
Several months back, 4 comedians, the sketch and improv troupe Wet Change, one of them being a stage manager who never went on stage, but she's just as integral to this group as anybody else, were performing at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival when mist crept in and sucked them into the horrifying world of Ravenloft. These 4 had been drawn in by Ezra, the god of the mists, who needed their help to escape this infernal trap, and accidentally got comedians instead of heroes. Over the course of trying to collect magical items and defeat the Dark Lord of the Realm, our 4 players, who are, in some cases, playing versions of themselves close to themselves and in other places not, went through many changes. Tyler put on a crown of thorns. He grew horns. He's got green skin. He's got a removable pinky, and he trained as a blade singer. So he is a wizard that will kick your fucking ass. That's what he wanted, and that's what he got. Dell is now the D&D's quote-unquote first, according to her very terrible trainer, visual artist bard. She has a magical stylus known as the reality blade that she can draw into a bigger sword, or she can just carve into reality. She also, because of the way it was covered in blood for centuries, now has the ability to communicate with ghosts, which is sometimes positive and sometimes really bad for her and for ghosts. Mm-hmm. Guy Bradford tragically died attempting to steal the Black Knight's helm, but Ezra brought him back from the dead, cursing him, unfortunately, to lose 25% of his body, which the party decided were his from the elbows to his hands and from his knees to his feet. If he touches anybody with those, he sucks the life out of their body and slowly or quickly kills them. He also has no memory of his previous life, having taken on a new identity as New Rogue. And learning that he wanted to support his friends, or deciding that he wanted to support his friends because he had no memories, he has become a cleric of Ezra, dedicating himself to the god that he has decided is a god of life and all things positive. Then, Adam McNamara. He was possessed by a symbiote and took on the mantle of the Black Knight, declaring himself a heinous villain. He adopted the Black Knight's squires, most of whom died immediately, but one which kept following him around until that one died, and then he found another one. He has renamed himself Shadow Nemesis. He has become a barbarian, fueled by his inner rage, refusing to learn any lessons about his past. He has abandoned his former identity, and he has embraced the path of the giant, I think. So when he gets angry, he literally gets bigger. These 4 heroes, I'm going to put some air quotes around that, depending on who we're talking about.
No.
Defeated the Dark Lord of their first realm, at which point they discovered that it would become a personalized hell for whoever became the Dark Lord to trap them inside its borders. However, Ezra set them free, allowing Shadow Nemesis to escape consequences, and they journeyed into a new realm where Shadow Nemesis was given another squire, who they have been dealing with, and everybody else continued onwards. They also absorbed a bone horse, a horse that is just a skeleton, named Rumpleforeskin, fueled by fire, that has been pulling them along in their cart on their adventures. Rumpleforeskin, of course, is looking for the rest of their herd of bone horses that are somewhere in Ravenloft. When they arrived in this new realm, having discovered that each of them needed to become a Dark Lord, so this is really just round 2, they discovered that this domain is larger, more complicated, and quite nasty. They thought they were stopping off at a cottage in woods that were full of faces, when they discovered that it was being taken over by evil dolls, carrying needles as enchanted weapons, and whenever the doll stabbed someone with a needle, they would switch into that person's body and trap that person in a doll. Over a series of combat and hijinks, our heroes all reclaimed their bodies, except the squire, whose body was murdered by Shadow Nemesis. But Shadow Nemesis lied and said it was Ezra's fault, so the squire's been stuck in a doll looking for a body upgrade. Our heroes continued onwards, where they met a demon named Acer Sanguine, who came down to threaten them all, revealed that he despised heroes, and summoned evil shadow versions of themselves and scattered them throughout the realm by lightning, guaranteeing that their names would be cursed before they even arrived. Moving on through the woods, our heroes were attacked by Frankenstein like forest monsters that had been stitched together, covered in barbs and blades and horns, and were saved by robots with flamethrowers. So they made their way to Protection Town, where they discovered Denton Arthur, a man who had lost the woman that he loved, as well as the rest of the inhabitants of his village because he was too slow in building the robot defenders that it required. So he lives there alone. He worked with our heroes, gave them a number of things. They've got an armored carriage now with crossbows at all four corners. They have armor for their horse. Dell lost a finger due to a cursed ring, but she's already got that finger back, so we're just going to kind of let that one ride. And the Dr. Deputy, as the squire was known, almost died when he was converted sort of by New Rogue, but then revealed he was praying to the god of death. Then he was killed. Then he was put into a rat, and now he's back in the second doll body the group has, the needle for which is being hung onto by Tyler. He has been gifted a robot that has been programmed so that it cannot attack anyone until they attack the party. And our heroes were then set off. They'd been told that there were 2 locations where they know that their evil personas had been acting up. They've been given the power to summon tubes by yelling, "Tubes!" And the power has been given to New Rogue to be able to do that, to keep them in touch with Denton Arthur on an ongoing basis. They were told they could go through the desert march. Oh my gosh, Tyler, you okay, buddy?
Yep, sorry.
No, all good. They could go to the desert march to the Knoll Hole, where the Knolls are being starved, being attacked by the evil persona of, everyone's guessing, Shadow Nemesis, or the Barren Hills, which is where they decided to go, where the evil stream-labbing Tyler has taken over the rootless evergreen and is risking starvation for all of the ground fishers of that area. So they have set off in great conflict, and having been reminded by Denton Arthur that they really need to pull together because they could lose everyone over the course of this journey, and no one wants to die alone. And that is us now fully caught up. Alrighty.
Great.
I think it is time for us to return to Ravenloft. The 4 of you are traveling along the road to the Barren Hills in your new tanked up carriage. You have all been given maps of this realm by Denton Arthur that you have been given, that are available on our Patreon and Discord. Now you have an idea of where you are going, what the domain looks like as an overall experience. And Dr. Deputy is outside, buzzing along, slightly above the carriage, just flying in a robot body. So you have this carriage to yourselves.
Oh, fun.
You've got a good long ride. You can see, and what you've been told is that it will take you until tonight, where you will need to stop somewhere to rest, where you will just be traveling on the road. And there is some conflict among this party. Do you think you would, I know Tyler and Dell, you've both said that you were determined to get Shadow Nemesis talking with New Rogue again because he has been giving him the silent treatment. Mm-hmm. Would you want to tackle that first? Would you want to review the map first as a party? Who would start this conversation after, I'm imagining a little bit of silence after Denton Arthur's speech about your possible deaths and sticking together?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awkward.
I'm not even sitting on a bench. I'm like near New Rogue. I'm on the ceiling sitting on it. And I got my like rat hat book in front of my face, just like studying that, just doing anything but acknowledge New Rogue.
And I'm just fiddling with my hands and sweating. Just
All right. I'm gonna look at this map and maybe try and determine exactly how long we have, but anything to not be dealing with these 2 right at the moment. This is so awkward.
Great. What skill do you think you would use to read a map?
That's a great question. I guess just investigation, if that makes sense.
Great. Roll me an investigation.
Sure. That is a 14.
14. This is a pretty well-drawn map. You don't have a ton of experience with these, but you also know from the clues that you had been told by Denton Arthur as you look at this map that Protection Town is about a day away from either the Nameless Graveyard or the Forest of Screams. Your guess would be it'll take you about the day to get there. Then you can stay overnight in one of those locations and then continue on to the Barren Hills. So there will be a decision about where you guys are going to stay overnight that has to be made at some point over this, 10-hour carriage ride.
Yeah. Did he also mention just camping out by the lake? as a possibility?
It seems like those two things, based on the map that you were looking at, you will be engaging with one or the other.
Gotcha.
You could stay at the edges. It's not like you'd have to drive into the center of the nameless graveyard, but you're still going to be either or in this scenario.
That makes sense.
What do you think of this map, Del?
I mean, it's good to have a lay of the land, at least, to not feel like it's just open nothing. I guess we got to stay overnight somewhere eventually. I vote graveyard just because, I mean, now that I can talk to ghosts and everything, you know.
I mean, I was going to say, yeah. Do you think you've got like the inside kind of track on maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying every graveyard is haunted and full of ghosts or anything like that.
I think they are, honestly.
Okay, so I'm fine with that then.
They might be asshole ghosts, in which case I might just have my head explode, but it's worth a shot.
Do you mean literally, or?
I don't think literally. I just mean like sometimes they overwhelm me and then all I can hear is ghosts and they're just screaming at me. That just sort of happens sometimes.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything we can do to help with that.
Yeah, it's kind of bad, but it's also kind of just like being on the internet a little bit.
I miss the internet.
What?
The internet? Do you not remember the internet from what Ezra filled you in on? Did you miss that part? Internet is pretty integral to how we live. It's like this invisible information network. People can communicate from like just opposite ends of the globe.
Like the tube bracelet.
Kind of like a very much more sophisticated version of the tubes. Yeah. We used to call it the tubes.
As someone who pays the most attention, you're aware that when Guy was using social media, he'd actually created a kind of hit character. It was a small persona, but it was one that he did a lot of social media work as, named Claude Cadiddlehopper, that became kind of popular, and he filtered a lot of things through that lens. That might be worth explaining to him. What if it awakens something? Or it might not be. I leave that up to you.
Yeah, and honestly, even just thinking about the internet for a second, and then while Tyler is explaining it to New Rogue, I realize, oh yeah, a second, I have my phone. And I pull out my phone and I scroll through, you know, my phone gallery of things that I still have saved. And it's like, actually, I have some photos of like, I guess you've never seen these. And I have a photo of just us before going on stage in Edinburgh of like a selfie of us all looking normal and being friends.
Oh, Adam, come here. Take a look at this, Adam.
What's that? Del and Tyler, best friends? Did you say something?
Look,
come down here and look at this.
It's a picture of all of us. Or you can just hang your head upside down.
I can scuttle on the roof. And I come over.
Hey, I have my hand over Shadow Nemesis' shoulder.
Yeah.
Because you guys are friends.
And you're all friends.
Well,
and the mist swirls up around you, New Rogue.
Wow.
And normally it imparts you with a pop culture memory, but in this rare case, it imparts within you the memory of a sketch that you and Shadow Nemesis did together. What was that sketch called and what happened in it?
It was called Guess Who's Waiting for Nipple Twister. And we, Adam and I are a couple in the sketch, and it's like kind of like Waiting for Godot, but it's a nipple twister. And we've invited him to our dinner, and we end up just talking fast and talking wacky, and I'm like, hey, did you put on the soup? And he's like, what do you mean? I brought pizza. No, you nincompoop nipple twister won't like that. And yeah, the sketch didn't really do that well. We couldn't find an ending, but we workshopped it a hell of a lot. And
the mists swirl up around you again and impart another sketch. What was it called and what happened?
Oh, yeah. This was called Life with Loopy. And it was a parody of the 1993 hit cartoon Life with Louie.
Oh my God.
And Adam was this character's like, I was his father named Dale, and he's like, Dad, nobody at school likes me. And I say, don't be so loopy. This is your life. And, he was like a recurring character. And I remember Adam's catchphrase, and that was like, I shit my pants again. Oh, Loopy, that's why you don't have no friends, Loopy. And that also did not do very well, but we workshopped it a hell of a lot. Eventually found an ending.
That's what you remember as the conversation continues.
Yeah, remember. And what was the ending, Adam? Like eventually for that runner, like it was a series of runners. What happened to Loopy again?
Well, if I remember correctly, the ending was that on Father's Day, Loopy and his dad shit in each other's pants.
That's right. Yeah. Now you really got shit in your pants, Loopy.
And the mists swirl up around you again and gift you with another sketch. What was it called and what happened?
Boy, I mean, there's just so many great classic wet change sketches to draw from. Yeah. There was Lord of the Dongs, and that was like a really bad SNL parody sketch where we just tried to make a really bad Saturday Night Live sketch where we're dressed up as giant like clocks and midnight's coming, and we're like, oh, it's going to ding dong anytime now. And Adam was the sexy French one. Tyler was the fussy British one, and I was the one with the chip in my clock. And how did that end, Tyler? How did that one end?
That one, we would always bring that sketch out 2 minutes to midnight, like in real life during any kind of show. If we were going on late enough, we would time everything, the whole set, so that we started the sketch at 2 minutes to midnight, and then at actual midnight, the dings would dong, the lords of the dings would dong, and we all had secreted away pocketed gears, and we would just kind of like launch them out of our chests with like little we just explode little gears and springs.
Oh my god, yes.
And then we were banned from Comedy Bar for that because they got into like the front rows, like drinks and faces and eyes.
Yeah, and eyes so much. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, there was a lot of blood. But Del, you made all those contraptions.
Like... I know. I was like, I actually really enjoyed making those costumes, which is unfortunate that they instantly got banned over and over. I spent so much time on them.
Yeah, why'd you make them so sharp?
Well, they're gears, so they should be metal. I mean, it's realism. Yeah. It's just
theater.
I don't think the sketch would work if the gears were fake. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
foam gears. That's just stupid.
Wow,
what kind of clock would that be? Yeah.
The foam wouldn't shoot as far and fast.
That's true.
Yeah, it needed to be metal, and it needed to be sharp.
They were actually ninja stars, weren't they, Del? They were just a bunch of ninja stars, not gears.
Right. That's right. They were.
One of the times when I didn't have time to make them.
Just threw shurikens at the audience.
Being brought together by these memories, but you're aware how tenuous this situation is because, Shadow Nemesis is so mercurial. Shadow Nemesis. Mm-hmm. The mists swirl up around you. Could you roll me a d6?
Uh-oh. Is this one of those like really bad d6s or
kind of things?
Yeah, it's a spooky success or a fearful failure.
2.
2. You remember that this guy killed your fucking kid. This guy sucks. You hate this.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Why am I so happy? And then I scuttle away and I read my book again.
How far can he go in this carriage that we're in?
Far enough.
He goes from where he is sitting directly beside you to scuttling up to sit on the ceiling. So his head is at exactly the same height no matter what is happening. It's just body up or body down.
Yeah.
Well, I scroll, I shake my head at Shadow Nemesis and then scroll through my phone more, and I find a video of behind the scenes before we going on one of the sketch shows, and it's me recording Guy and following him and be like, yeah, grab Adam and do your Claude do your Claude Cadiddlehopper thing. I'm going to post this. So it's me being like forcing him to do it.
And the mist swirls up around you, new rogue, and you remember exactly how to perform Claude Cadiddlebopper. And it comes to you, and it's like you're living this moment for the first time. You're back there with Adam, and you're seeing this video, and the video is about 90 seconds long. So let's hear your memory aloud.
For 90 seconds.
But first, give me context. Is this outside of the game? This is a TikTok?
This is a video I took.
You have a video you took.
Backstage video taken by your stage manager, getting you to do Claude Cadiddlehopper.
Okay. So I'm like, hello guys, it's me, Claude Cadiddlehopper. What's that smell? I smell bad. Anybody got some cheese? I know Adam's got some cheese.
Why, hello, sir. I just came from the cheese store. Doop-de-doop. Trip smear.
Oh, I got cheese all over my body. I got cheese all over my knees. What am I gonna do with all this cheese?
I'm trying to clean it, but I'm making it worse.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna get it everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Del, cut it. Del, cut the video.
Okay,
cut the video, Del.
I'm turning it up. You can't post that.
Oh, so that's
And
that's
Del
where I got
cuts
it?
the video, but the mist swirls up around you again, new rogue, and you remember the next 60 seconds of what continued after she cut the video.
Yeah, on the shiza on my chest. Yeah. Do it on the cheese in the Swiss holes.
Oh no, he's stuck now. We have to go on soon.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the video
Fix
still?
him. Fix him.
The video cut. This is just the memory.
okay.
It's the video. I thought it was the video.
No, this is just you remembering. So it's what happened right after the video, but you're remembering it.
Yeah, that was. Oh gosh. That was so fun. Remember, we'd do those weird abstract characters, and it'd always get a rise out of each other, and then we'd always end it like with tension. I feel like there's tension now.
New Rogue, you're trying to bring this group back together, and you're finding yourself at this weird precipice between can you be positive to bring Shadow Nemesis in, or has there always been tension and is that dark? And the mists swirl up around you. Can you roll me a d6?
No, I hate these.
5.
No, these are good memories. The tension was between characters, not you two as people.
Yeah. No, it was always an act. I mean, the great thing about Adam, the great thing about all of us was just getting our eyes out of each other, making that fake tension. It was super, what's the word? Cathartic.
Did you forget the word cathartic?
I just learned it for the first time this lifetime, Tyler.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
It was fun to goof around with you guys back when the stakes weren't quite so high.
Yeah. And Adam, even though there was that thing with drugs at one time, I mean, you pretty much always had my back.
Well, next time I talk to Adam, I'll pass that along to him.
You are Adam, dude. Somewhere in there, you're Adam.
Adam is somewhere in there, but right now you're speaking to Shadow Nemesis.
Yeah, don't forget about Shadam. Remember our talk?
Oh, him. Yeah, Shadam's out of here too.
Hey, Shadow Nemesis?
Yes? I'm reading a rat book, but what?
Does your rat like cheese? Your rat like cheese? You got some cheese? I got some cheese.
No, I need cheese to operate the hat.
You need some cheese?
Yes, I do.
You want some cheese? You want some cheese?
You have cheese for my hat?
And then I'm going to take out my...
I was going to say, New Rogue, can you roll me a persuasion? And Shadow Nemesis, can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom, oh boy.
Can you resist the siren call of Claude Cadiddlehopper?
Well, wisdom save is... Oh, danger sense. Can you use danger sense?
No.
All right, well, that's a 14.
18 plus 2 for my persuasion.
It's a dirty 20.
You know it.
Shadow Nemesis, You may be mad at New Rogue, but you can't resist Claude Cadiddlehopper.
God damn you, Claude Cadiddlehopper, you magnificent bastard.
Usually want cheese, but this time I giveth the cheese. And
I have the cheese right here.
Wait a second. You're spilling cheese all over me.
Oh, no, it's in all of your crevices.
You
Why does it go here?
It's inside of your ear.
You should just be happy that they're
ear.
ripping together again.
Scotch cheese,
I'm saying nothing.
I know it's all over your crotch now.
Okay,
it's in the top part of your bum.
So
Just that little V part of your
This
bum.
continues. We don't need to do it. This continues for a very long carriage ride.
We have to listen to it in character.
9 hours
As long
later.
as they're not killing each other.
Tyler and Del, can you both roll me con saving throws?
Oh, Tyler.
Net 20! I lived this. This has been my life for so long.
That's good. That's good. I rolled a 6 with a modifier of 0.
All right, Del, for you, this is back to normal. Honestly, this feels like a win. You were trying to get these two to talk, and realistically, you've always known this group is at its best when they're just doing bits.
Correct.
They may not even be friends. You're not even sure anymore. But when they do bits, they don't fight, and that is a significant upgrade. Tyler, you forgot how much you hated this. It's like they came back with the worst thing, and you know that this bit does not end because the weakness, as established by New Rogue in his description of his memories, is these two don't find endings. They cut to you for endings. They just do extended abstract bits. So if you could make a note, you are going to have disadvantage on your next roll to try to affect Shadow Nemesis or New Rogue, just because this is going to build up so much that you just can't quite handle it.
Yep.
And this continues for hours until you look into the distance as you roll past Death Mountain to your right and the Impossible Lake to your left. And up ahead, you see in the distance the nameless graveyard and the Forest of Screams, one to the east, the other to the west. And you realize you're going to have to decide where to stop tonight. And you don't know what will happen in either of those locations. We'll take a quick commercial break right here.
I was going to say, that felt like...
A sketch troupe once more. You are all in the carriage realizing that you need to decide which of the following locations you are going to spend the night at. You get to choose between the nameless graveyard or the Forest of Screams. They both look menacing as hell from a distance.
I got a thought, and I want to run it past everybody. Both of them seem kind of scary a bit.
Yep.
It seemed kind of nice to me.
Right. But is there any way to like sleep in the periphery, so maybe like in between, like sandwich in between, so you get the least of both worlds? Does that track or is it, like you're straddling the state lines,
Well, I don't think we should leave the road. That seems bad. Goodness knows we might never make it back. We've got this map, but it's basically just showing, these approximate locations. And I wouldn't want us to, head off to between two locations and then not be able to find our way around anywhere.
At the same time, I feel we need to conceal ourselves, because if we're just out in the open in a road, maybe those Frankenstein zombie things will just come and get us. So I think we should set a periphery,
That's fair. Look, I think a bone horse pulling a carriage blends in more at a graveyard than at a Forest of Screams. I'm just saying. Also, Del was mentioning earlier that the graveyard ghosts might shout at her all night, but it sounds like no one's getting any shut-eye if we camp in the Forest of Screams. That sounds like that applies to everyone enough that they named the forest for it. Screaming, I mean,
yeah, the face forest is pretty literal.
Graveyard. Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
that's my 2 cents. I don't know.
Over.
What do you guys think?
No, you won me over. I mean, yeah, Del has powers in graveyards. We've had some positive experiences in graveyards. Yeah, and we've done the forest.
That's true. Shadow Nemesis, do you have an opinion about this situation?
Oh yeah, graveyard.
All right.
Do it to it. Down for graveyard.
All right, I guess let's graveyard it, but we don't have to go super far into it. I think that's a good note, New Rogue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll find like a sturdy corner of the graveyard.
Let's find a sturdy corner. I like that.
They got fences, right? Like graveyards got fences. So if we put like us against like the back of a fence.
I guess we'll see, yeah.
That's a good plan. All right, let's see what detail when we get closer.
So you signal to Rumpleforeskin, who is at the front in their armor, pulling the carriage, that you want to head towards the nameless graveyard. As you move towards it, you can see it is surrounded by a tall black metal fence with spikes at the top. It's looming, gothic, a little bit Addams Family, just a general creepy vibe. The gates open themselves as you approach, and your carriage trots inside, and you are seeing just waves and waves of graves all around you. Can you all roll me a perception?
Perception. Right, 0. I should just assume.
I got a 12.
4.
All right, I'm going to use my inspiration on this one because I did not roll well. Oh, you know when you use inspiration, you roll exactly the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I got a 6 then.
17 for me.
Oh,
here we go.
17. 3 of you are just looking out, disturbed by this sea of ancient gravestones. Ooh. Shadow Nemesis, as you look out, you can see mausoleums, you can see signs, you can see larger graves and smaller graves, but you're realizing that time and the weathering of all of these gravestones means you can't make out a single name of any person who has passed. These are clearly ancient generations, and you realize that the nameless graveyard is somewhat literal in this case. As you're rolling forwards through these hills of graves, you see a multitude of paths leading out towards. In the west, you are seeing the Impossible Lake. To the east are the Forest of Screams, and you realize that you could stay towards the edges of the graveyard, but it would put you closer to the lake, where you can see the looming Sky Fortress in the distance that you know houses Acer Sanguine. Or you could go to the east, but it would put you much closer to the Forest of Screams, which seems to move right up to the gate. In the center of the nameless graveyard, as you're rolling forwards, you can see a large Gothic church, just a massive stone edifice, looming, gargantuan. And because you rolled a 17, you can also see a small crypt keeper's cottage next to it that reminds you of old Chateau Nemesis.
Oh, Chateau Nemesis, how I miss you and your wonderful toilets. Hey, gang! Look, there's a giant church and a little shack next to it.
Oh wow!
Oh, surprisingly, I didn't make that out the first time. Oh,
oh yeah, I see that now too.
Yeah, we were
right
looking
there.
out the other side.
So I say we go in the giant church.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's. Okay.
We can get Rumple. We'll put Rumple in the shack. And then we'll wheel the cart right in front of the church, and then we'll go in the church.
Okay.
Probably
we should all stick together, including Rumple. And hopefully Rumple will fit a church.
Oh, hey, Rumple, buddy. Do you think you can fit in that church?
I mean, it looks pretty fucking big from here, so like, yeah. I can get into houses. I should be able to get into a giant church.
Oh, very true. Okay, we're all going into church.
Yay!
As long as it's nobody else is at church right now. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, why don't I scuttle up the church and take a peek in just to see if there's any weird things inside.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna help out and send Ivan over there too.
Great. So right now Ivan is in the form of a rat. So are you releasing Ivan and Shadow Nemesis in advance, or are you going to roll up to the church and just go from there? You're not seeing any movement or anything else. This just seems like a large looming graveyard.
I'm gonna pass Ivan over to Shadow Nemesis, and say, look, I think scuttling up there is a great call. Once you get up high, find like an opening, window or whatever, and see if Ivan can kind of make his way in there. I'll be kind of chatting with him from way back here, so he'll know what to do, and he can tell me what I can see what he sees. So that should work out okay.
Very well. It's time for big speed, and I grow 5 feet, and I go like big speed, and I run towards it and scuttle up it.
Right.
as Shadow Nemesis is running away, I'm like, Shadow Nemesis, be careful. And he could hear in the air a whisper of ghosts being like, be careful, be careful. And I use guiding whispers on you.
Oh, what does that do?
Ooh,
Guiding whispers is bless, but it has a range of 60 feet because I use it ghosts to cast it.
Ooh.
So, or not bless, guidance, sorry. So you get a...
Was that a D4?
I think so. Yes, a D4 to an ability check.
Oh, sweet.
Great. So you can do this climb for free, Shadow Nemesis, as you're looking to run up the side of the church because of the unholy abilities that Shadow Master gives you. The question is, do you want to move quickly to try to see as much as possible, or do you want to move slowly and try to be as stealthy as possible?
Oh, I'm locked into big speed, so I'm going like full speed ahead. I'm going to go loud and quick.
Fabulous. Can you roll me a perception?
I'm just going to assume that's 0. Perception is 0. There we go.
But you will get to add, I think, 1d4 from the guiding whisper.
Yep.
Get a load of this then. All right. All right. So we got 15 plus 2, 17.
Yeah.
17. You dash up the outside of this church, finding an easy grip and hanging onto Ivan with no trouble whatsoever. You make your way up to the top of the bell tower section. It's an arcing, almost sphere up to a point that stabs upwards into the sky. And as you step through the alcoves around it, you see a collection of gargoyles that have been placed in these various alcoves, all of them facing inwards towards a single gargoyle that is crouched, larger than the others, with massive wings spread and horns on its face, just staring out into the graveyard. There is a trap door at its feet that you would imagine leads into the church.
Okay, when I look at these gargoyles, do I get the sense that like, oh, these things are going to come alive and like eat us? Danger sense to the gargoyles.
Roll me danger sense only works with dexterity. Roll me a dex save. Let's see how cautious you are while observing the environment. I'll give you danger sense on this one.
All right. Okay. Okay. No, like advantage? No, or like.
Yeah, you're using danger sense. I think.
Oh, advantage. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Did you forget what danger sense did?
I've just said it so many times that then like I don't know. I kind of just got what I wanted. Oh goodness! I rolled 15 twice, so 15 plus 1 for my dexterity save, I guess.
Great. You make your way through the space and you're watching very carefully for like them to move, to kind of like creep you out, or like look back over your shoulder, making sure to keep an eye on everyone so they can't sneak up on you. And you were seeing no movement from any of these gargoyles.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pull out my big rod that I got in my bag of holding that has the magnetic cape around it, and I'm like, hey, this is Ravenloft. Anything can happen. I'm just gonna smashy their heads.
Smashy their heads.
Yeah, just as they're rocks, because like I remember the show Gargoyles, and it's like, you know, when they're stone, they're vulnerable, and if you smash them, they can't like fight back. And as I smash them, I like sing the theme song to Gargoyles, like bum 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 bum.
So there are 10 surrounding gargoyles and the large central gargoyle. Where do you want to start?
Ooh, I'm going to start with Goliath. I'm going to assume he's the central gargoyle and make my way to Hudson and then Bronx.
Goliath is their leader.
The little bald one that was good with electronics.
Lexington.
Lexington. Yeah.
He was good with electronics?
I like the dog one. Maybe I won't harm the dog one.
All right,
I'll harm the people-y ones.
You approach this massive gargoyle that's nearly 3 times your size at the center of this space to smash it with... You have a lump of metal wrapped in your magnet cape.
Yeah.
It's a metal pole. Am I still like 10'8"?
How long? I think that only lasts 60 seconds. So
can I get mad again? And
if you want to use another berserk rage, absolutely.
Ryan,
yes.
Is it okay to kind of say retroactively that I have been looking through?
Yeah, that's very reasonable. You said you were going to be looking through Ivan's eyes, so I think that's reasonable.
Okay.
You were seeing him reach in and pick up his metal and look at it. I was just looking from that to like where his eyes are, just trying to guide you. Be like, hey man, I think he's gonna start smashing shit.
Yeah. Sit tight. I'll be right back. And I would like to retreat from the telepathic connection to cast a cantrip message to Shadow Nemesis and just send the message. Hey, can you pause from smashing those statues for just a second? I just want to send Ivan in to check them first.
Oh, no, all right. Sure.
And just to keep the waters calm and everything smooth, I'll take the effort of casting message again just to say thank you. and
I appreciate that. You're welcome.
And resuming my telepathic connection with Ivan and seeing through his eyes and hearing what he hears, I'll say, hey, all right, so Shadow Nemesis is going to hold off on smashing to let you kind of do a little identify spell for me. It's got a range of touch, so I should be able to cast it through you. If you can just scurry up to one of those gargoyles, put a little rat claw on it, and we'll cast identify and just see what's going on with them.
Sure, man. Like, which one you want?
I mean, I'm paranoid. Let's do a small one.
All right. And he turns and jumps off of Shadow Nemesis and runs towards the smallest of the 10 gargoyles facing inwards. He's like, hey, man, high five. And then he just puts up a paw and like high fives the gargoyle and holds the paw there from his little rat body.
Okay. And I will cast Identify. I'm gonna do it as a ritual, so it will take 10 minutes. I'm hoping everyone has the patience for that, just because if things go bad, I want to have enough spell slots to help.
You're trying to detect, you're trying to suss this thing out, right?
Identify basically allows me to, throughout the casting of the spell, I can identify if it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object. I learn its properties and how it's used, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. I learn whether any spells are affecting it and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, I learn which spell created it. If I instead touch a creature throughout the casting, I learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting the creature.
Okay. So
I'm operating under the I'm hoping it's an item in the sense that it is just a stone statue. But I have the backup of if it's a creature, maybe I'll learn something and also just know that it's a creature.
So you are casting that spell as a ritual, which takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Inside the carriage, New Rogue, is there anything you would say over a 10-minute break as you see Shadow Nemesis is upstairs and Tyler just starts muttering, doing magical things?
Anything I would say? No. Now it's just Del and I in here. Yeah. So it'd pretty much be like, thanks again for having my back and helping ease the tension in the carriage on the ride over. By the way, Del.
Oh man, New Rogue, no problem. And I'm sorry things have been really hard. I can't imagine how hard and scary it is. Like, it's hard and scary for us, and we remember who we are, and that you've just got us. So we've got your back.
Oh, thanks. By the way, I feel bad about I feel bad and kind of embarrassed actually about how I kind of like hurt Dr. Deputy.
Yeah.
Usually I'm kind of headstrong about trying to speak with him. What do you recommend I do with Dr. Deputy? I kind of need some guidance on this, and I can't hear anything from the big guy, so I think I should ask a friend.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Dr. Deputy, like, I don't even talk to him that much. And I mean, since Shadow Nemesis is so mad about it, maybe talking to him about it, then maybe you guys could be closer and then you're not overstepping, because it seems like Shadow Nemesis gets really upset when it feels like someone's taking away his doll baby sun creature monster friend thing. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So basically just stay away from Dr. Deputy. And if I have anything to say in regards to Dr. Deputy, I should go through Shadow Nemesis first.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to ignore him or anything like that, but
right.
I'd say, if anything, Dr. Deputy is probably going to try and goad you into fighting or, doing that. Just let it go. Like, rise above it. I know it's hard when people are annoying or mean to just let it go and not fight back, but just remember, Dr. Deputy is very small, and you are new rogue, and you're the hero of, you're chosen one of the whole realm, so, stand tall. You got this. Your friends have got your back.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stand tall. I'm going to see if they need any help outside.
Yeah, I'll go check on Rumpleforeskin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you both leave the carriage. Del to go check on Rumpleforeskin, and New Rogue to stand outside because your friends are at the top of a church or with you in the carriage. Would you go into the church to try to climb up, or would you stay outside?
Well, no, they are outside on like the top of the church.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So I guess we're not trying to blow their cover. So I'm wondering, actually, I have a question for you, for DM.
Super.
During our carriage ride over, was there a period probably when I wasn't talking? Would you say that was about 4 hours?
I would say everybody got a full rest. You're up to full health and full abilities. So remember, Nemesis, you did burn 2 rages getting up top.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta burn those things?
Yeah, you don't get limitless.
I don't have what? Oh man,
you have infinite rages. No.
Wait.
I gotta read my things.
Okay, great then. Geez, can I, from my perspective, because I guess have I heard Tyler's plan that he's trying to?
You have not heard Tyler's plan. You do not know what is going on.
Fuck. Okay, well, I guess I have nothing else to do, so I'm so scared of fucking things up, so I'm just going to be like nodding approval, being like, you got this, guys, just in case they ever see me, and just try not to touch anything.
Great, you're just going to stand there. Shadow Nemesis, you have been told to wait, and you have been waiting 6 minutes. Would you still wait? What would you do?
Just in case these things want to pop up and eat me, I'm going to I want to call Dr. Deputy to fly up and be with me to have aerial support, just in case, because the thing is if they attack the party, then I can fight. So I'm going to use first I say big voice, and it echoes with my thaumaturgy. Then I'll say Dr. Deputy, come to your master, Shadow Nemesis.
And a robot just flies up on a turbine and floats next to you saying, I'm here.
Excellent. Now, we got 4 minutes to burn. I don't know. You got any cards or something?
No, I'm in a robot.
Oh, why are you talking like that?
It's coming through speakers, I think.
Oh, it's not you just putting on a voice?
No, that would be stupid.
I feel like I need to be transparent here in that if Guy doesn't know what I'm doing, Adam doesn't know that this spell takes 10 minutes to cast either. So I don't know if you've got 4 minutes left or not. If you just think you might be waiting forever. I'm sorry.
I don't know. This rat just... Okay, rewind. That was just a... alternate universe.
In my dreams, in my wildest wishes, that we all just knew what we were all doing if I communicated a little better.
Dr. Deputy, this rat's just been high-fiving this gargoyle for forever. It seems like half an hour.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Why don't we, I know. Well, he looks like he's trying to figure something out there. Why don't we do our own investigation? I am proficient in investigation, I say as I look at my -1. But let's conduct our own investigation.
Okay. And the two of you set off to do your own investigation as the results of an identify spell are about to come in. We'll take a quick commercial break right here. Shadow Nemesis, can you roll me an investigate?
All right. -1. Here we go.
I believe.
Okay. It's a 15.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad.
Not bad. You're looking around. You see that these are gargoyles. They're well carved. They look appropriately kind of important and put together. They seem like they're very, very well crafted. There's clearly been work to make the anatomy look real, to make the posing look real. Like you're not seeing, shitty work. You're not seeing like mold lines. So this seems like these are handcrafted and very well put together. Tyler, you finish your identify spell, and you discover that there is a curse upon these gargoyles that will make them come alive at night.
Okay. Immediately cutting the connection with Ivan there, and just kind of in the cabin or of the chariot, just now by myself, I guess, just like, and then just screwing my eyes shut, casting message out to Shadow Nemesis, and just like shouting, but psychically, I guess. So just like, Shadow Nemesis, get out of there. Those are gargoyles. They're creatures that come alive at night.
Oh, wait, can I tell if is it night yet, or is it like?
As you look at, you can see the sun is going to set in a few minutes in the distance, but it's not night right now.
Oh, well, then it's like, all right, time to start smashing, and I want to smash till the sun goes down.
Okay, how many times can you rage in a day? What I'm saying is check your sheet for me, because I don't have your two long rests. So 2 per long rest?
Per long rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't rage right now. Roll me an attack with your regular stats, because you raged to get up there really fast, and then you raged again and then agreed to wait.
Oh. All right. Just attack with my axe.
Yes, absolutely.
Or am I? Oh, I have my.
You'll be swinging the metal, but we'll use your axe stats. I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Do I get my +1? Because I got like a +5 battle axe.
Correct. Just whatever your stats are for your axe, roll them.
Here we go. Sorry, Goliath.
Or you could start shooting. You've got options.
Oh,
Tyler, say it.
It's like +5, man. So it's like I got like 23.
You put the gun next to the temple of these gargoyles.
Just spin the chamber and see what happens. Yeah.
23. These are gargoyles who can't move. And based on that 23, I'm going to say that you just smash the shit out of them. But you've got at least 15 minutes. You've got a giant metal rod and you're smashing in the skulls of statues, which are made realistically, which means the necks aren't like super reinforced or anything. So you take the head off of every gargoyle in this room.
Sweet. Are there like, is one like, I want to try to hit one, so like one is like intact. So it's like the coolest one, like Goliath. I want to get like a Goliath head.
Okay, so you're taking Goliath's head.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are really scared.
Smash that head off, and you've got it with you. You've collected the head.
Yeah, so it's like a really nice and like good shape, like gargoyle head.
Great. With the 23, I'm not going to argue with you. You have that.
Sweet. All right. Okay, and I kind of put it under my arm, and I'm like, I say like big voice, and then I tell to everybody with my thaumaturgy, I'm like, it's okay, I smashed the gargoyles, they're fine now. I kept one of the heads though, because one of the heads look really neat, but don't worry about it. And then I ring the bell.
Like scrambling out of the chariot and hearing that, I was like, oh, well, that's actually really smart. I thought we would have to get out of here.
No, hey Tyler, did I hear that?
No, you did not do that because you are in the belfry ringing a bell, as you just told me. So downstairs, they're all hearing Lord of the Ding Dongs just taking place from the belfry.
Wait, he's destroying the gargoyles.
The gargoyles were going to come to life at nightfall, which was, look at the sun. It's like minutes away. I was going to tell everybody to run, like everybody pile in, let's get out of here. But he smashed all the gargoyles. So,
any more gargoyles?
As far as I can tell, I don't think so. Give me a second. I'm just going to look through Ivan again, and I just want to link with Ivan again.
Hey, man, welcome back.
Hey, can you find any other gargoyles around? Or are they all in just this room?
That's like a really good
intact
question.
Gargoyles.
And I got to roll for Ivan here.
I've got rat stats if you need anything.
Oh man, this is going to be so great. Don't worry, I can see a hole and I can climb through it to go find what's going on. This is going to be dope as hell. And that is when Dr. Deputy's robot flies by and his turbine wash he's not quite used to. So he passes over, and you see the heat of the turbine wash hit Ivan, and it does 1 HP of damage that blasts Ivan back into the celestial realm.
Rats and bats, 1 HP. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, God.
Oh, jeez, Dr. Deputy, would you watch where you point that thing?
I didn't shoot it like you said I couldn't.
Look, I'm convinced you don't need to talk like that. I think you're putting on that voice.
I'm not. Do you want me to come out and then you can hear me normal?
Well, land in here, then come out. I know how your brain works. So land in here, then come out.
He lands next to you, and the chest of the robot hinges open, and he's like, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
All right, now get back in. I want to hear.
He gets back in, and it swings shut again, and he's like,
"What do you need?"
You're a clever duck, Dr. Deputy. I think you're putting that on, but I like it. I'm just gonna let it happen.
Hey,
want to zip down that hole there and look for gargoyles?
Okay.
Just in case, because I didn't hear any of that conversation. I'm just like saying just in case, because it's almost dark and we should probably like smashy some more.
That sounds smart to me.
Yes, thank you.
and you were
Get down
about
there.
to open the trap door when we cut down to Dell, who is talking with Rumpleforeskin. Dell, what did you want to say to Rumple?
Rumpleforeskin, how is the new armor treating you?
It's pretty comfy. I'm surprised by how well it's made.
Oh, good, because I was going to ask if you needed to take it off every night, or if you're just good wearing that all night.
I can take it off if I get tired, but I'm not tired right now, and because I don't have skin, there's nothing to chafe.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I also thought, we're going to all stick together, but just in case, and I want to pull out the Pokeball, and I want to throw an animal.
Great. Can you roll me a d6?
I rolled a 2.
A 2. You summon a giant rat.
All right, we're rat again. All right. Hey, rat. You're friends with Rumpleforeskin now. Watch out for them, and protect. Okay, don't go asleep.
And the rat raises a paw in a salute and gives you a salute, and then just sits down.
I salute back. Good, great job. Just another set of eyes. Can't hurt.
Okay, so the rat is protecting me, I guess.
I thought it might be a bigger animal, but that's what we got right now.
That's okay. I think I'm going inside with you, though, right? I don't have to stay outside.
No, exactly.
Be protected by a rat.
No. I just figured bonus.
Yeah, so it's like a patrol rat. I can get on board with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Clever.
Exactly.
So how are you doing? It was kind of tense before you guys got in there.
Yeah, we managed to get them talking about bits and sketch comedy stuff. So I think it's calmed down a little bit. So it's honestly better than it was.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Because I was worried that, I don't know, we were going to have some sort of, internal conflict that would tear everybody apart before we were attacked by some incredibly evil force. And as Rumpleforeskin says that, the sun sets in the distance and night begins to fall just as Shadow Nemesis opens a trap door into the church. And that's the end of episode 1.
What does that mean? Why'd you say it like that?
That's the end of this episode, listener, but next week you could become a watcher and affect the Jesters' adventures by joining our Twitch stream, which happens every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Toronto time. If you join our Twitch chat, you can give the cast magical items, name NPCs, and decide the events that shape Ravenloft. So, catch up on the story, follow Dum Dum Dice on Twitch, and join our weekly stream right away. Jesters of Ravenloft features the voices of players Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, Guy Bradford, and Adam McNamara, alongside Dungeon Master Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Jesters of Ravenloft's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is Dark Mysterious Halloween Night by Sound Gallery by Dimitri Taras. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, whose music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. Now get out of here before the mist gets you too!
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia de los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, Gus Schreider, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.